Hey everybody, my name is Sarah and I will be going over the UKG training with everybody. I hope everybody is excited to learn this new system. We're going to use it for everything. So let's get to it. There's a lot of slides, there's a lot of information, and I do apologize for the two smaller screens here. That is the only way that I could get to record it so I could show you guys the documentation, which, by the way, I will email to everybody, as well as what the system looks like, which is here on the right side of my screen. So with that said, let's get to it. So this is the UKG training. We will go over employee TLM and HR actions on the desktop and mobile. We'll do the desktop first, and then we'll go over it with the mobile. So again, like I said, there is a ton of information. So one thing I would recommend is that you get a notepad, jot down notes, jot down questions, anything that doesn't make sense. And then that way, when the training is over, you can always give me a call or shoot me an email with any questions that you have. So again, this training is going to cover TLM, which is the timekeeping side of UKG, and HR actions. TLM will be the most used section by employees. There are multiple ways to accomplish the same thing. I want to point that out only because I realize that there's going to be learning curves and there's going to be questions of, oh, I don't remember how to get to the timesheet, or I don't remember how to request time off. And there's multiple ways to accomplish that. So when you are having conversations with your other employees, make sure that you both are at the same starting point. Only because, like I said, if one person goes about it one way and the other one goes about it a different way, when you're trying to figure out how to get to the same end goal, it could be just a messy conversation. So make sure you're both starting at the same starting point, because there are different ways to do the same thing. Our timesheets are bi-weekly, just as they are now, and they will be submitted as such. So on every other Friday, because remember, we're switching to bi-weekly payrolls. So on every other Friday, all timesheets are to be submitted. There will be more training to come as needed. For example, our open enrollments will be done via UKG for our benefits, and I will send out those instructions closer to December. And then obviously we all need access to our W-2s and our 1095-C form. And once that gets closer to January, I will send out those instructions and that training on how to access those as well. UKG has its own terminology, and there's just three main terms that I do want to point out. I really would like for everybody to familiarize with these terms and to know what they mean, because going forward, this will kind of be how we communicate when we are talking about our timesheets, whether you're talking to Laura or I in payroll, whether you're even talking to Kim in HR, whether you're talking to whoever your admin is, these are the words that we will be using going forward. So counters. A counter is a term that UKG uses for types of pay. Example, it can be holiday pay, regular time, time off, overtime. Any type of pay that would be on your pay statement is considered a counter. Activity. Activities are used with counters, but they have specific pay rules. Example, on-call and flex time. Cost centers. In short, cost centers are just the town or location of which you're working. Every employee here, from operator to the president, we're all assigned a default cost center. The full cost center, which you will see when we talk about the timekeeping piece, that is the state, the region, and the location. So first thing that I want everybody to do, we'll go on to the next slide, is I want everybody to verify their information. So in order to do this, I would like for everybody to log into your profile and verify that all of your information is correct. So over here on the right side, we have a fake employee that we have named Poe Sailor. I am going to be Poe throughout this training so I can show everybody, what it is. I do have screenshots here, but I thought maybe it would be helpful to also kind of see how it's all navigated within the system. So the first thing you're going to do is put in your username, which at this point, everybody should have already logged in by now. You should have already created your own password, gone through the configuring of the verification settings. You should have all of that should be done by now. So once your username and your password is inputted, you're just going to click login, and it's going to bring you to your home page. So again, to verify your information, the first thing I want everybody to do is up here on the top left, I want everybody to click on these 3 bars. And then it's going to bring up this image here to the right. I'm sorry, to the left. This is where you're going to click on your single person, and then you're going to go to my information, and then you're going to go to my profile. Once you're there, as you can see over here, I have a screenshot here. It is going to look a little bit different just because I have it scrunched together to get the two things on both screens. But once you're here at your profile, which is going to house all of your personal information, please note that some of your information is not loaded yet, such as direct deposit and your vacation balances, or any of your accrual balances. That will be loaded once we get closer to our actual go live, which is October 1st. So, but for now, I would just like you guys to go through here, verify everything. I want you to scroll down. You can see the base compensation. So this is what Poe makes an hour. I would like for you guys to go through here, make sure this date right here, this where it says effective from, that may or may not be correct. And I only say that because when we uploaded this information, some of them have been changed to when that was actually taken place, but then some of them were also from when we uploaded. So don't necessarily, if this isn't correct, we do have the correct information, it just hasn't been done. But I do want you to look at what your rate is and make sure that that is all correct. We have your username, your first name, your last name, all of that you can't input, but again, I just want you guys to verify that it's all correct. Your hire date, your start date, your seniority date. We have listed here who your managers are. If you have a lead, make sure your lead is there. If you have an admin, make sure your admin is correct. And again, is your region manager. These are your cost centers. The only thing really that I want you guys to verify here is down here where it says default cost center. Just make sure that this information is correct. Your employee ID, as we all know, is the last 6 digits of our social security number. Please verify that and make sure that is correct. Your email is currently blank, and it will be blank until we input that, which we will do that for you guys, so don't do that. Poe has one just, again, for when it came to testing, we had to put an email in there, so that is mine. Scrolling down, your national ID is your social security number. So again, make sure that that is correct. Make sure your address is correct. All of your account demographics is correct. Account contacts, you may or may not have any listed in there. Kim is actually in the process of inputting those right now. So some of you may have some. If you do, please verify it. If you do not have any, don't worry. We're getting that information in. Accruals is going to be blank. Again, we have not inputted that information yet. So then you can scroll back up and just change the tab. This should all be correct too. This is just your 401k if you have any of that inputted, and anything that's related to HR, which is your benefits. So, and that information is uploaded. so you can verify that that's correct as well. So that is the first step that I would like for everybody to do before you actually continue this training. So if you need to pause it, so you can go ahead and get logged in and verify all of your information. If something is wrong, please email us, me, Kim, or Laura, or even all three of us, I don't care, and just say, hey, I looked at my information, my social security number is wrong. It should be this. Or hey, my address is wrong, it should be this. And then that way we can get it updated for you. So moving on to the next slide, which starts our training. So this here is, I realize this is hard to see. Let's see, that kind of works. So this here is the main menu. So I'm going to click the logo. Whenever you're within the system and you want to go back to your home screen, you can always just click our People Service logo and it will take you there. Again, mine's going to look a little bit different just because I have it scrunched up versus full screen. So, but at the very top here, we have our Start menu and it has 4 icons. So we have My Account, My Certifications and Credentials, HR Maintenance and HR Actions, and Our Company. And then we have widgets. So this widget here is your time off widget, My Time Sheet. And basically, guys, what's on the left over here, I'm just going to scroll through on the right so you can see everything. Then you scroll down and we have My Mailbox, My Benefits, Announcements, My Accrual Balances, and Documents. So one thing I will say is on Documents, you can click on any of these. And so if I click on this here, and then you can see that I download it, or it downloaded, and then I can open it, and it tells you timesheets submitted. I will have to change that actually. Employees are to submit every other Friday by end of shift. And then admins have till the following Wednesday to approve. And then once you're done with this, you just close it. If there's another one that you want to see, how am I paid? Again, you download it, you open it, and you view it. And it tells you our pay policy. So there's information, you can minimize these so you can see everything if you like. There's also 2 separate pages, or another page. So when you're looking at this, make sure it says 1 of 2. So you can go to the second page and it's benefits, credit card agreement, and HR policies. So again, if there's any of these that you want to view at any time, you can always open these or download it and open it to view it. So that is basically your home page. If you hover over any of these 4 icons, it also pulls up information for you. So you can see if I click on My Account, it says My Profile, My Benefits, My Direct Deposits, and all of these blue, anything in blue is a link. So if I clicked here, I could go to My Profile, and this is back where we just were when we verified our information. So next slide, I think I got a hold of myself or ahead of myself a little bit there, but next slide. So what does what? So this again, these 3 bars up here are considered your main menu. So as I said, when you click on the main menu, it brings this black bar, which is also showing right here. And then you can open up things and it gives you other information within that category. So it has subcategories to the category. And even some subcategories have categories within them as well. So you guys can go through that. Double People just has a couple things in here. This is how you can access some other stuff as well. And I will go over those too. Another thing I'd like to note is the edit mode. So the edit mode is right here. By clicking this, it allows you to add widgets. You can have a total of 9. So if I wanted to add or change widgets, you just go through here And then this, the left side here is what's available. And then the right side is what you have currently, what's already there. So if I wanted to add my pay, you could, and then you just click add and apply, and then it would show on your home screen. It would show on here. When you're done editing, you just simply click it, and then it goes back to where you can no longer edit. These three dots up here on the start menu, this allows editing of the widgets on just the start bar. I would recommend never using this. I just wanted to show you, just so you know what it is. If you hit remove, it literally just removes the start menu or the start bar, which you do want. If you hit edit, it allows for you to edit the widgets, which again, I would not mess with this. I just, again, wanted to show you guys what it is. That way, you know, when you get curious and start clicking things, you'll know what it is. So back to where I said that there are multiple ways to do the same thing. So you can, on the start widget, again, you can hover over an icon and it will generate a pop-up. You can then click that specific, those words, and it will take you to a link. Otherwise, another way that you can do it is by going up to the main menu here, and then you're going to click on your single person. You're going to click the arrow of the category that you want, and then the subcategory, if there is one, and then choose the option. So again, if I wanted to go to my profile, I could do it here, or I could hover over my account and click here. It's totally personal preference. It's just whichever way is easier for you. Another option, which I actually don't have listed on here, I don't think, but another thing you can do is go up here to your main menu and just search for it. So you can type in profile, I could spell profile, and then it's there too. And you click on it and it will take you to your profile. So there's 3 ways right there just to get to your profile. Our next slide is going to talk more about the main menu information black bar. So the star is your favorites. UKG has pre-assigned some tabs for you. Again, open these up, explore, see what's in there, take a look at everything. You know, just really familiarize yourself with what's in here. Just go in here, poke around. All we ask is that you just don't start saving stuff. But you can definitely go in here and you can take a look and see what's here. The preloaded tabs are based on your position within People Service. So if you are talking to your lead operator and you say, you know, oh, it's under your favorites, his favorites will be different than what yours are. And my favorites being payroll is going to be different than what a lead's favorites are going to be. So just keep that in mind as well when you guys, you know, when you're starting to familiarize yourself with everything in UKG. So the single person, we've kind of discovered this is all of your information. Notice everything starts with the word my. And the reason for this is there's a single tab and then there's also a double person tab. So the single tab is everything pertaining to you, and the double person tab contains different information. If you're a manager, this is it's called the team tab, and that is where you would see those that report to you. Next slide. Again, I kind of said some of this, but it's I want you guys to go in here. I want you to open up these tabs. I want you to feel free to explore, to look at things in here, see where stuff is located, you know, go through. I do want to say this tab right here, my schedule, we do not use schedules. So while this tab is going to contain information, none of it is applicable to us. Under the help button, or help drop down, I should say, there is My Learning and My Learning Classic. So My Learning will take you to a new screen with video trainings on about any topic you can think of pertaining to UKG. This platform allows for searching a specific topic, and I will say less words are better when searching, so it will bring up all learnings that contain that word. I recommend that also here too. So say if I type timesheet, that way I can see I have multiple things that are here. Rather than just if I did submit or password or that type of stuff. It will pull up everything that has that word in it. My Learning Classic, it does the same thing as My Learning, except instead of videos, it provides a PDF, and then that way you can save it for future reference. Moving along, this next slide here is changing your password. So I'm sure you all have figured this out by now, and I believe that I sent this in the training too, or in that first employee login, but your password must contain at least 8 characters and one of each of the following character types. It must have one uppercase letter, a number, a lowercase letter, and a symbol. To change your password, get out of here, we're going to go to your main menu. You're going to go to Single Person, My Information, My Profile. Oops, hold on, I hit the wrong button, sorry. My Profile, My Information, and then you're going to go to Change Password. Once you change your password, or click Change Password, then you're just going to put in your current password, your new password, and confirm your new password. Once there is information in all 3 of these fields, this box here will turn blue, and then you can click on it, and then you should receive a notification saying that you have successfully changed your password. The next slide here is just a little bit. Okay, so this slide here is how you are going to clock in on your desktop from the timesheet under main menu. So again, because there's multiple ways to do it, this is one way. I will show you another way. So this is one way. So this is the path here. You're going to go up to main menu, click on your single person, My Time, Timesheet, and Current Timesheet. And it's going to bring you to this. And this is what your timesheet is going to look like. The first thing you want to do is always verify that your dates are correct, that this is the correct time period or pay period. If it's not and you need to go backwards or forwards, that's what these arrows are for. You can click back in time, and you can also click forward in time, I believe. Yes, you can. So if you wanted to verify that say you requested vacation and you wanted to just verify that it was on your timesheet, that may be a reason that you need to click into the future. But otherwise, make sure that you're there. And then all you simply do, if you are just wanting to clock in, the clock in option here will just clock you into your default cost center. Clocking out will do just that, simply clocks you out. If you have multiple cost centers, I would recommend clocking in this way, and you click Change Cost Center. I will quickly show you guys what this looks like. If I hit clock in, it just simply says processing, and you can see I received a confirmation. I don't know why that went away, but it says that I clocked in at 3:01 today. I can open up today, and now it's on my timesheet. I clocked in at 3:01 p.m. and Poe is set up for his default cost center is Missouri Valley. So I can see that that's where he is. And then when he's done for the day, he only worked not even a minute today. You simply clock out, it's going to process. And then there are these attestation questions, which we will go out. I'm just going to quickly go through these just to get rid of them, just to show you guys. So then it simply says that I clocked in at 3:01 and I clocked out at 3:01. Okay. If you are on call, and you need to add those 3 hours to your timesheet, the way that is done is right here where it says extra pay and counter adjustment. You just simply click on those words, and then right here there's a plus sign, and that's for you to add. You click on that. You're going to put in your correct date. Say I'm on call for this week. So today's Monday. I'm going to enter it now. My counter, I'm going to do on call. And one cool thing about this too is just like you guys are currently doing on paper, if you need to split it, you can. So I'm going to make this big just for a moment. So you can see here, I put in my date, I put in my counter, which is on call. My cost center is Mo Valley, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that as correct. And my time, let's say I need to split my time. So I'm going to do an hour and a half. I'm going to save it. I'm going to receive a notification that it was saved. And then I need to add that other hour and a half. So I'm going to add another one. I'm going to click on call. And here I want to change it. So tree view is easier for me. I think it's going to be easier for everybody. Otherwise, you have to kind of search for it. So click tree view. And let's say I'm going to go to Crescent. So I did my drop down from Iowa, and then I just scroll down till I see Crescent. Maybe you're in Carter Lake, so you click Carter Lake. Maybe you need to split it to Avoca. It doesn't, whichever one. There's all of them are in here. Familiarize yourself with these as well. If you don't know what something means, just ask. We can absolutely help you out. So let's go back up to Crescent. So I'm going to click on Crescent, and then you can see Crescent. And then I can do a 1.5 there to get to my total of 3 hours. And then I'm going to click Save. And that's it. So that is this box right here. It just explains on-call and how you go about entering your on-call hours. So the next slide looks like, just do that one. Clocking in from, let me go back to the home page. So this one, clocking in from desktop from your home screen, the timesheet widget. So again, I kind of talked about this at the beginning, but it's really simple. Here, you just, as soon as you log in, this is your page that you see. So you can simply click clock in. If I click clock in, it says, hooray, you clocked in at 3:04. And it's as simple as that. Now say, let me clock out. Let's say that I know my default cost center is Missouri Valley, but that's not where I'm going right now. I'm actually going to Avoca. So I would click change cost center, and then this pops up. You can see anything marked with a red asterisk is going to be a required field. So you have to have a cost center. So again, you just do your drop down. You're going to click browse. This one is already on tree view for you. If you're in the state of Minnesota, you're going to click Minnesota, find your region, and then find your location. Okay, so all of those are in there. Again, though, I said I was going to Avoca, so I'm going to scroll down till I get to Avoca, and then I'm going to click OK. So then it says that I clocked in at 3:06. So you can use the Change Cost Center as a clock-in option as well. I would highly recommend for anybody such as like myself or any of the admins, whenever you, or if you only have one cost center, I would recommend using this clock-in option here. And if you use multiple cost centers, then I would recommend clocking in via the Change Cost Center. If for some reason you chose that wrong town where I chose Avoca, if you clicked the wrong one, you can always change it. You just have to wait 3 minutes. So it should not allow me to change. I hope it doesn't, because, oh, well, it did. So On your cell phone, it did not allow me. So maybe here it does. And then when you're done for the day, again, you just simply, when you log in, you just click clock out, and then it tells you you clocked out and you're good to go. Again, the attestation questions, we'll go over those later. So our next screen here is adding an activity to your cost center. So remember I said an activity goes with your cost center, but it has its own special pay rules. So the way that we're going to handle, for example, bill bag hours, whether you're on a call out for a holiday or on a holiday call out regular or flex time. So after choosing your cost center after choosing your cost center, an activity can be chosen. So I'm just going to say I'm in Carter Lake. And then notice on the left, it says to add activity, choose from drop down. So I'm going to drop down, I'm going to browse. And then these are my 4 options. So I started bill back hours. So I'm going to click a bill back, and then I'm going to click OK. And it tells me that I clocked in at 3:08. And then I just OK, and I'm good to go. So now when I am, when I am working and something becomes a bill back, you don't have to go in and change your cost center. You can just go in and add that activity. Now say you're done with the extra billable hours, you're going to go back to change cost center. And this here, you're just going to clear it. You don't have to touch cost center. You just clear your activity and click OK. And that's what this note right here says. If you are logged into an activity, you must delete the activity when changing cost centers. The activity field does not change, so you do have to clear that. Our next slide here. To add a note or a comment, here you must be in your timesheet. So again, from your home screen is the easiest way, in my opinion. Otherwise, you can go up here and go to my timesheet and current timesheet. Otherwise, this is a link, and again, you just click on it. So this is just to quickly go over the slide. You must be in your timesheet. You're going to click the little comment box to add a comment or a note, type your note, and click save. I'm going to make the screen bigger again so you guys can see my whole screen, so you can see the comment. So let's go down here to where I had the bill back hours. So basically, this little comment here, you just click on it and then you can add a note. So you can just say, I don't know, whatever it would be. I'm just going to put billable hours. Once you're done, you just simply click save. Now, one way to tell if there is a note, notice once I added a note and I saved it, there's a little red dot with a number next to it. So that tells me that there is a note there, and then I need to view it. So I just clicked on it and I can see that Poe wrote billable hours. And if I wanted to, I could add another note if I needed to for some reason. And then, but if I don't, I just click cancel. So that's kind of how you're going to clock in, clock out, add your cost center, any activity if you have an activity, and the comment section. Make this smaller again. And the next slide. So this is clocking out from timesheet widget on your home screen that I actually, oh yes, sorry, I'm glad that said that. Notice that mistake. I went to click back and it tells me, whoops, you will lose all of your unsaved changes. If you don't want, now, no, the only thing I added was that comment. So if I did not want the comment there, then I could just click, okay, I don't care if I lose my changes. Otherwise, I need to click cancel and make sure you save, which is up here in the top right. Save it, and then it'll tell you that it's saved. Then I can go back. So I'm back to my home screen. And remember, clocking out, I already said that. You just simply hit clock out. It will tell me that I clocked out. And then the attestation questions, which is my next slide as well. So we'll go over those now. Every time you clock out, there will be 2 attestation questions. The first one is, were you injured on the job? If you were not, you simply click no, and it's going to go to your next question. If you hit yes, which I'm going to for demonstration, I hit yes, and it says, did you call the on-call nurse? And we list the phone number. Please provide brief description of injury. So I can say cut right thumb. Once you're done adding your comment, you're just going to click OK. Then the next one pops up. Did you work more than 8 hours? We only want to know this for when it comes time for overtime. If the answer is yes, you hit yes, and then you provide a brief description of why you worked 8 hours. So maybe you want to put water main break. If you did not work more than 8 hours, then you just simply click no, and you're done. And then you're good for the day. Now we do have to do it at every clock out, only because if somebody works a half a day and you work in the morning and then you leave at lunchtime, we still need to know, we still need those questions answered. So we realize that you may not, you may be punching back in or clocking back in for the day, but at least this way it helps us to keep track and everybody to keep track and on the same page that at every clock out you will answer these questions. The next slide is submitting your timesheets. So from submitting your timesheets, again, there's multiple ways. You can simply go here straight to the link of my timesheet. Otherwise, you can go up here to your main menu, your single person, my time, timesheet, and current timesheet. So once you are here, this is, I'm going to open this again. Once you are here, you can see everything that I have, all the time that I have. I'm not getting paid for anything because I wasn't clocked in at all long enough. I'm actually going to go back to well, no, I'll go to that one because later. Okay, so once you are here, you can verify everything. It tells you how many hours you're getting paid for. If you click here on the extra pay and counter adjustment, it tells you any of your extra counters that you have entered. Summary by day just shows you, this just kind of breaks out your time. Let me go back actually, just so I can show you guys one that has a little bit more information. So this one here. So we have his calc total, which is what he's going to get paid for. Poe used 7 hours of flex time. He was also on call this week, so he has his 3 hours of on call. He's going to receive 4.75 hours of overtime. He also used 8 hours of personal time. And then here, this tells you how much regular time he had. Okay. Once you are done and everything, everything looks fine, you have your on-call hours on here, you've looked at your time entry, all of your times look correct. So he worked, from 8 to 10:30 on Sunday in Missouri Valley. Monday, July 19th, he worked 7 to 4. Just go through and verify that everything is correct. Make sure that your time off entries are on here. Your activity is also going to be listed. So that should be on here as well. And then once all this looks good, you just simply click submit. Once you click submit, it does tell you once it's submitted for approval, any further modification would not be allowed. Do you want to continue? You just simply, obviously you do because you've already verified everything, and you just click submit. And it tells you, yay, you did it, great job, it's been submitted, and then you click OK. And then notice up here on the top left, it did say open, and now it says submitted. So then you can also tell that you did actually send it. So again, let's go back to our slides. So this one here, this is next. So you've submitted your timesheet, and now after your time is submitted, now you were thinking, oh, I forgot to enter something. Let's say you forgot to enter your on-call. And you're like, oh, dang it, can I fix that? Well, if you go to your timesheet, notice it still says submitted. So the answer is yes, you can still adjust it or edit it. However, once it is approved, no changes can be made. Okay, so this is your time. Once again, I'm going to make this bigger so everybody can see better. So if you do realize that you need to make any updates or changes, you're going to click reopen, and it says you are about to reopen your timesheet. Do you want to continue? And you're going to hit reopen. So then it tells you that it's been reopened, and notice this now says open. So then you can go in here and you can make your changes. So say you need to add, on call not only for 7/19, but you also were on call this week too. So then you go add your weekend. You're going to change your counter to on call, same cost center, or if you need to change it. And then you're going to add your time. And then once that's done, you're going to click save. You'll receive your confirmation that it's been saved. Oops, sorry. I was going to say you could go back, but okay. So here we are back to that same timesheet. Say I was looking at this and I realized that this punch right here doesn't look, it's not right. I knew it wasn't right, but I forgot to say something. Like I worked longer than 12.25 hours. I actually left at 8:30 p.m. instead of 7:30 p.m. So in order to change that, you have to go up here to where it says change request. Let me see if I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see, I think that's the next. Well, let's go back to change request. So you go change request, and it's going to ask you, what is it that you're changing? So we worked longer than 7:35, so I need to modify a punch out. Notice these are the changes that you can make. You can do your extra pay and counter adjustment. You can add a time entry, cancel your time off, modify cost center, modify your extra pay and counter adjustment, punch in, punch out, or time off. So we need to do our punch out. So I knew that Thursday was wrong because I actually left at 8:30 instead of 7:30. So then you just choose your day, the drop down, and then here it gives you the ability to override. So then you just put in 8:35 p.m. and then you can just simply say clocked out too early or whatever your reason is. And then you hit submit changes. You'll receive a confirmation. And then that request actually is going to go to, if you have a lead, it's going to go to the lead. If you have an admin, it's going to go to your admin. Once they approve it, that is when you will see the change reflected on here. Okay, until it's approved, you will still see the wrong time. And then once it's approved, then you can go back and you can click submit. So let's minimize this again. Let's go to the next slide. Requesting time off. And go back to our home screen. Requesting time off is you go to your main menu, your single person, my time, time off, and request. Now in here, you can also see other things. There's history, balances, and calendar. So we're going to go to request. And this is what it looks like. This here just shows the available options, which is here. You click on here and these are your available options. You can choose floating holiday, funeral, jury duty, military, personal, unpaid time off, or vacation. So let's say I want to use a floating holiday, or PO does. So I click on floating holiday, and let's say I want to do it for Friday, this Friday, the 27th. And then I click start request. So then here it tells me time off type is floating holiday. Request type is whether it's a full day, multiple days, partial day bulk, or partial day start and stop, which means it could be like the 23rd, you need to work a half a day, and the 25th, you need to work a half a day. But we're going to do a full day. Here you need to type who is covering your shift. So whoever that is, go ahead and type that here. Otherwise, if you want to leave a note, you can say, I'm just going shopping. It doesn't matter. If I, use personal time, doctor's appointments, you can type whatever you need to in there. Once you are completed with filling in the required fields in your comment, you just click submit request, and then it tells me that it's been submitted. That request will go to, once again, if you have a lead, it's going to go to your lead. If you have no lead, then it's going to go to your region admin, and then the manager will receive notification. If you are a region admin, then your request will go directly to your manager. And if you are a region manager, then your request will go to your manager, which is Chad. So then Chad would receive those requests and he would approve it. Until then, it shows here on the calendar, and it shows you can click on it and it says that the status is new. It tells you what you requested. Up here, it tells you what it was. So if it was floating holiday, it says floating holiday. If it's vacation, it would say vacation. Clearly, I can modify it. So if I changed my mind and now I only want to work 4 hours, I can change it to 4 hours. And if I can no longer take the day off, I can simply click delete. And that's it for requesting time off. Okay, I already did all of this, so here's just the backup, or the documentation, I should say, for how you request your day off. And then over here, cancel time off after it's approved. Remember, that is just from your change request. Let's see, I don't know if I have one, but let's see. I can go to timesheet. I can do change requests. Choose my type, and I can do cancel time off. Once I do cancel time off, I pick my day. I don't have one. I apologize. Let me see if I have one back here. Sorry, sometimes this can be slow, so just be patient with it. Go back again. I do, I have personal here. So let's do change request, change type. We're going to do cancel time off. And the only time I have is Wednesday. Notice it's in blue, and that's how I know that I have time there. So I can click on that day, time off personal. That's what I want to cancel. So I'm going to click on it. Comment, just put, cancel or whatever your reasoning is. Cancel have to work. You can see that it's required. And then once you're done, then you just quickly submit changes. And then it tells you that that change request has been submitted. Again, same process with time off request. It's going to go to your lead, your admin, or your manager. Once it is approved, it will then reflect on your timesheet. Okay. Next slide is viewing your time off history. So this here, you're going to go to your main menu, single person, my time. You're going to go to time off and history. Again, you can also see your balances. Remember, as of right now, they are not loaded yet, but they will be as we get closer to October 1st. But you can click on history, and this tells you everything that he has requested, his time off history. Next slide is HR actions. So we have basically covered all of the timekeeping piece. So now you guys should be able to clock in, clock out, change your cost center, add on call hours, know how to do a change request, edit your time out, your time in, request your PTO, anything that's to do with your time. You should know how to, or at least have the training to be able to familiarize yourself with that and to get those done. So HR actions, what are they? HR actions are any updates or changes that are to the employee profile via a specific request. These can be made by employee or on behalf of the employee by the manager or admin, depending on the type. Do they need approved? The answer is yes. The request will either be approved by HR or payroll, and the requester will receive a notification in UKG once approved. The purpose of HR actions is to make sure that all of our employee files are up to date and accurate. So what's available for HR actions by the employee? You can do a direct deposit update. So if you change your banking information, this is how you can notify payroll. If you have an employee contact update, this would be any contacts that you have added to your spouse, added to your profile. An example would be your spouse or your children. Personal information update. This is your information, and that's supposed to say change of address would be an example. And then trainings and certifications update. So those are reasons that you would ask for, that you would go in and do an HR request. So this slide here gives you the breakdown or the path of how to initiate the request. So you're going to go back to your main menu. You're going to go to your single person or your My tab. You're going to scroll or look down for My HR to the drop down. You're going to click on HR actions. And then this is going to bring you to those options that I just read to you. So here's one for the direct deposit. Here's one for employee contact update, personal information update, or training certifications update. So, and then notice there is a start over here. So once you have decided which one you want, let's say we're going to do, I think I have an example. No, I don't. Let's say we're going to do employee contact update. Then you just simply click start, and then it takes you to where you need to enter in those changes. So for this one here, make sure you always have the date correct, when it's effective from. And then to add somebody, you're just going to simply click add. And then you just follow these steps. Notice that there's more information, so you want to scroll down and make sure you have all of the required fields completed. And once you have inputted those changes, entered them, you just simply click save. Once that's done, you click submit. Again, that will go to either HR or payroll for review and approval. And then as soon as that's approved, you will receive a notification, and then it will update your employee profile. If you say you want to do direct deposit, again, you guys can read these directions. It tells you what to do. Please select the start button to the right of the HR action. Make sure your effective date is correct, so on and so forth. And you also can upload a copy of a check if needed. So anyway, you're just going to click start, and you're going to go through it. It's effective from today. You're going to go here to add. You're going to enter in all of your information, make sure it's all correct, double check it before you do it, click save, and submit. Okay. So I think it does. So that covers everything on the desktop. So next will be mobile app. That is actually going to come in a separate training, only because just kind of how I've shown you guys through here, I will be showing you on my cell phone, logging in as Poe as well. So again, go through this training, go through all of the slides, familiarize yourself with everything that's in here, familiarize yourself with these icons, see what's in here, you know, go ahead and look at things. There's, again, multiple ways to do the same thing. I didn't show you both ways on some things. For example, this is not in the documents, okay, but why I'm looking at this, my time off. So instead of going here to my time off and request, you can just simply click here to my time off. And it's just a faster way to get there. And then it's the same thing. You just click your day and go through the start request and go through that. So there are multiple ways to get to the same place. I just realized another thing I didn't mention was my mailbox. So this mailbox here and the notifications here, if I was to click the notification bell, it actually takes me to my mailbox. Otherwise, they can also be displayed here. So it's just my to-do items and checklist though. So you might want to have both, because if I click the bell, it brings me to my to-do items, my notifications, and my checklist. So my notifications is just here. It's just saying, hi Poe, your request of personal time in the amount of 8 hours has been approved with the following comment. There was no comment, so there's nothing listed. Here's this as well, saying that his personal time was approved. This was just saying that his password had changed. And then this one here was just saying that he has a new account created, which is when he first became an employee of People Service. You can save these if you'd like. Otherwise, you can delete, mark as read, mark as unread. Okay. So that covers it for the desktop training of UKG. I hope that wasn't too dreadful for everybody. And again, please, please, please reach out if you have any questions. We are here to answer these questions. We are here to make this transition as easy and as seamless as possible. No question is a dumb question. I know this is a really big change for all of us, especially going from paper to now going to, you know, this electronic version. So questions are going to be expected. I will answer as absolute best as I possibly can. And if I don't know the answer, then I will absolutely find the answer. So again, I hope that you guys have retained some of this. I know that you might have to watch it more than once or pause and rewind and go back. And but again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you want me to go over anything in further detail. I am more than happy to do that. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and good luck. I hope that you guys are all as excited about this as all of us are here. So thanks, and we'll talk to you later.